Hello and welcome to the Boss Fight Festive Livestream. I am Christopher McLeod, the Digital Marketing Manager of Boss Fight Studio, believe it or not. And joining me on this very festive episode of our live kind of streams that we'll be doing a lot from going forward is the wonderful Andrew Franks, our fantastic owner and, of course, wonderful designer on many, many lines. Hello, Andrew. How are you doing?
Hello. I don't know. You might be setting the bar pretty high.
Very high, too high, you might say. And also our wonderful Chris Oliveri, design director on, again, multiple lines on the brand. Chris, how are you doing, buddy?
Hey guys, doing well. Happy to talk toys today.
Yes, talking toys. It's kind of coming up to Christmas in the holidays. All lots of exciting things. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, guys, of course, get those comments in and chat along with us. And we will obviously, try and get to as many of those as possible throughout the episode. But what we're going to do first is, Andrew, you want to basically talk a little bit about Boss Fight for any newbies that are joining at this kind of moment in time. Do you want to kind of take us through what Boss Fight is all about, a little bit about the company? Go ahead.
Yeah. Boss Fight is a toy company that is run by toy creators, people who love toys, and we always do our best to put out amazing product. A lot of us are ex Hasbro. We've worked on brands like G.I. Joe and Transformers and Marvel and all of that stuff. So yeah, if this is, I can't imagine why this would be your first exposure to us, but hello.
But if it is, there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's we're a nice little company. We're growing, and we've got like I would say, some really good brands at the moment that we're working on, including our own IP, and we'll be going through a lot of that as well as we get through this this live stream. So we'll be touching on some of the new stuff that's come in, some of the new stuff that's on the horizon. We'll be getting to, again, like a lot of kind of frequently asked questions, I would say, kind of trying to give people as much transparency as possible as well, so you guys can really see what's going on behind the scenes at Boss Fight Studio. Now, just one thing I wanted to mention before we get stuck into all of the good stuff is even more good stuff, actually. But things that have come in very recently, we've got 3 particular kind of like new products that have kind of hit shores and are begun pre-order fulfillment. They are Garfield Wave 1, the Epic Hacks Blanks, and Hero Hacks Red Sonja, the 1/18th Hero Hacks Red Sonja. There's Garth, there's Odie being shown off there by Andrew. So yeah, we've got lots of stuff kind of coming, we've got stuff on the water as well, I believe as well, coming to our port. But like I said, the stuff that's in like pre-order fulfillment at the moment: Garfield Wave 1, Epic Blanks, there's another one from Andrew, and Red Sonja Hero Hacks. So that's in the process. So if you've got pre-orders for those, they should be in the process of getting to you. Okay. And like I said, or like I've said in the past, you can contact us at Boss Fight Studio with any kind of issues that you may have, and it'll probably be me dealing with it. Anyway, as well as that, Chris, I know you got some samples in today, bud, and you are desperate to show people what's come in.
I am. We got some good stuff for kind of what's on my desk, what's just wrapping up. So a really fun one is Steampunk Red Sonja. So 1/12. We've got in package. So she's just being finalized now, but you can see she looks great in package. We put a lot in there, and just about ready to go. Final polish. And she's on her way out. So on her way out of production for fans, as well as our limited edition golden red Sonja. So you can see it's got the foil pack. It's a great colorway. So awesome gold armor version. We've also got a more kind of fiery red hair version of Sonja, and a red leather on there. She's looking great. A few tweaks, a few updates. We kind of did some tuning and really kind of like dialed in on the face paint and detail. So we heard from fans as well as we got the joints a little bit tighter, the ankles a little bit tighter. Overall, a decent improvement quality of life on this, and a great limited edition for fans.
Fantastic, looks great. We're getting some comments in the chat already, but I just want to say to Zaymot Rogue, we'll actually be covering that question towards the end of the show. So we'll, if you stay tuned this whole time, we will get to that particular question. And also, non-existent Merit has asked, when are the exclusive nights going to ship? I see that they already have it in stock in Asia. Andrew, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, those will be shipping to our U.S. retail partner for those, BBTS, very soon. We had a last-minute tweak we wanted to execute on those, so it delayed it a bit.
Fantastic, thank you for that. And they've also asked, non-existent Merit has asked, also, will you guys ever do another run of Wave 1 Knights and Castle Guards?
I think if we did, we would probably do them a little bit differently. It's pretty rare when we decide to straight up rerun something.
Yeah.
We usually like to tweak it, make it a little bit different.
Thank you very much. And honestly, any kind of news and stuff on those kind of things will come out on our social media and our social platforms. So keep an eye on those all times. Chris, you had some more samples there though, but before I interrupted you, sorry.
No, all good. So I've got some great improvements on Court of the Dead. So they don't have their soft goods, but both figures will have soft good capes and other features. But we've got Shard and Demethyle that are wrapping up our Wave 2 on our 6-inch Court of the Dead. So getting a ton of detail on here. I think once you see them painted, it'll really kind of showcase what the team did on the sculpt. But they're coming along fantastic. All brand new, all bespoke molds and sculpts. We've got a ton of great features. Multiple heads on each, even the ponytail swap that people really want. But just fun stuff like that. So you can do some posing. You can also angle it. Shard comes with 3 different portraits, 2 swords, but we have Demethyle here, the Reaper General, who is absolutely fantastic. Insane. He will have a cape and a fabric skirt on the front and back as well. So, he looks a little bit different without those, but you can see, at least from the molded plastic, he comes with his war helm that has this amazing kind of skeletal Valkyrie detailing.
The detailing on that chest plate, oh my god, it's crazy.
That is unreal. I would also say that's the exact deco as well, right, Chris?
This is like Napoleonic ice cream, or however you say it. It's vanilla, chocolate, strawberry.
Neapolitan.
This is our favorite Teshon flavor. Yeah. Neapolitan.
Yeah.
But even you can take the war helm off and have his classic helmet. Just like fantastic details on here. As you can see in the armor, there's characters all throughout his, from the knee pads to the bottom, the sides of his greaves. There's character forms on that, but absolutely great. Even the spine detailing on the back.
To that.
We're really pushing it. This might be the most arms we've had on a figure for a while, but we've got, different hand sizes, different we've got the pauldrons that are flexible as well. So we're really pushing it here. This guy is just like an absolute beauty. So we hope that fans like it. We're wrapping up paint as we talk now, but we've got improved test shots that look great. We've also got our luchas, our premium wave 4 that we're just wrapping up now. So you might have seen them online, but we've got the brothers right here, Roosh, Trilistico, and Dragon Lee. They're looking fantastic. Show Demethyle's like, ooh, it's but these guys are looking well. But if you didn't get a look at those gams, he is. I mean, we've got exactly what you'd expect from us on like premium articulation. We've got the double knees on there, the rocker, but also the armor comes down over the foot. He's got these wild kind of like pleated kind of like scale armored boots.
Yeah, I'm leaving you to
The
describe
details
that
just-
because I didn't have any words to describe that particular shoe.
It's my shoe knowledge, Reaper General shoe knowledge is limited, but I can tell you they are.
Let's get Warden in here to talk about shoes.
Yes, he's got the knowledge.
Amazing.
So I know folks have kind of seen Lucha. That's been great.
This segment is
kind
basically
of
what's on
tease.
Chris's desk right now, isn't it? This is what's on Chris's desk, which is hilarious if you were to see it. It's just full of amazing samples all over the place.
I'm going to tease because he's in parts and pieces, but we're going to tease Conan. Conan is looking fantastic. He's
look at this,
ready for war. So this is early samples.
Look at that. I haven't seen that yet. I don't think.
And
I work for you.
This is in my hidden part of the desk. That's only for
okay.
me. So
I see.
When I have my quiet moments, I just stare at Conan.
Look at that.
Lovingly. So this is something that we're doing that's a little bit new, but we're actually doing the straps at on the back. So this is kind of new for us where we're doing layered secondaries. So he'll have a belt with the classic kind of loincloth. He'll have soft goods here, and then this armor, you can kind of peel it off of him. We've got the classic body underneath. There's a lot of the hack system that we're doing new innovation on with Conan to get his looks, as you can imagine. And we have not shown too much of her, but Baylit is absolutely fantastic. So I'm just going to tease her real quick because we've got
cheeky.
2 great versions of Baylit that are coming along really well. She's got kind of a great top. She'll have soft goods on the bottom, and we're doing these great flexible sleeves.
They're cool.
So when you bend the elbow, it'll actually flex and cover. So she'll have these great kind of silk sashes for that look. And again, they both have 2 distinct looks. It's like the hack system. We want you to have fun and mix and match and kind of make the perfect version in your mind. Obviously this is kind of like from the run of like volume 1 Marvel Conan, like issue like 85 to 100. We want to get all those great kind of Black Coast moments with Baylit and Conan for fans.
Fantastic. Thank you for all that, mate. Is that everything that's on your desk, or is there even more?
There's too much, but
Stuff that
I
we're not
think
gonna
that's
show you
enough
as well.
for this segment.
It's
I saw. So I'll quickly speak to. Oh, sorry, Chris.
No, go for it. Go nuts.
I just saw Nix's question on 118th. So I'll just say we are just doing Conan right now. Thank you for the response on Conan for everybody who pre-ordered. That was awesome. We got a great response, and we hear you. You want more, so we're working on it. Is all we're going to say right now. But some great feedback and suggestions, Nix. Thanks for that.
Yeah, so you want to see more Robert E. Howard figures, Solomon Kane, Dulce Doom, etc., etc. We'll have to see how that goes, won't we? And I think, is that our Henry in the chat as well? I think it is. Shout out to Henry. Always wanting to see Demethal's legs. I just want to also shout out Gear of RV. So just started collecting the Saurozoic Warriors this year. One of my favorite lines, hands down. We're talking a little bit Saurozoic in a second as well, but I just want to hand this one over to Andrew quickly. Any news you can share on Saurozoic, Andrew, and in terms of the toy line, or do you want to just at least respond to Gira's amazing little comment there?
Yeah, welcome. I'm really glad you like it. That one is a very precious baby to us, and we love it too. We're a small team. We're about a dozen people, and a lot of effort this year has gone into developing the Saurozoic Warriors game, and that's meant putting the development on the action figures to the side a little bit, but it's something we'll be getting back into in the new year, and hopefully we'll have some news to share soon.
I can't wait. As you can see,
yeah,
displaying my Saurozoics right here at the moment.
Meanwhile, you know, there's 3 waves of figures to collect and an exclusive and
Link in the description, guys, to our web store, by the way, if you want to get
Yeah.
stuck in on any of these products that we're talking about today. Obviously, a lot of stuff's up for pre-order as well, but again, you can see all of that on our socials and, of course, in the description below. Right then. There's the quick question here before we move on. Stark Scraps has asked, back during the horse Kickstarter, there was a stretch goal for a centaur that we unfortunately didn't hit. Is there any hope that the horse body to human torso piece will ever get made?
That centaur comes up a lot in planning discussions, and you know, I think it's just trying to find sort of the right place and the right time for it. You know, we definitely are keeping it in mind, though.
There you go. There you go. Straight from the horse's mouth. Pun intended across the board there. Andrew hates when I use puns, and it's going to happen a lot today. Right then, that's everything from Chris's desk. Stuff that's coming in as well. Like I said, the pre-orders are in fulfillment currently. Garfield Wave 1, Epic Hack Blanks, and Red Sonia Hero Hacks 118. So I know a lot of people have been after those. A lot of people have been asking me about those, been asking the company about those. So they are now in pre-order fulfillment phase, and we will get them out to you as soon as we possibly can. Right then, we are moving on, guys, into the next phase of play. So we're going to be talking next about some of the most recent things we've had, you know, basically dropped, revealed, pre-orders and what have you. And Chris and Andrew are going to tell you even more details about them. So here we go. Hold on to your hats. Graphics works perfectly, like as if I've done this before. Right then, yes, so we are talking like new product, and we'll start with Andrew, and we'll start with the wonderful Garfield, which is here. There you go. So we have just dropped our Wave 2 pre-orders for Garfield, Andrew. Take us through a little bit about why you chose these particular characters for Wave 2, a little bit about, you know, just the general decisions behind this particular wave.
Yeah. We really wanted to, you know, wave 1 was, you know, I think a pretty obvious character choice if you know Garfield, and I think Wave 2 we sort of wanted to start building out the world, and so a big part of that was the very ambitious project of doing a enormous 7.5-inch John Arbuckle figure. This guy was quite a chore. He look at this. He's even got like little separate hair sprigs sticking out. It's insane. Rendering that character in 3 dimensions was a lot of back and forth. But yeah. And so John includes the interchangeable eyes, the mug, and the little sleeping Garfield figure.
That is so adorable.
Which he's stationary, but very cool, and a surprisingly hefty chunk of plastic.
Fantastic.
And yeah, so that's that figure with the chunk of Garfield is incredible value. And yeah, and the other figures being the version 2 Garfield, who you know, the main thing there is we wanted to do a head that would allow us to do the bigger expressions. And so
that's certainly a bigger expression, isn't it?
Yeah. And so we have sort of a taller head that allows for that, and he still comes with the version 1 head with a new expression. So that's a great figure. And then Arlene, you know, because she's, you know, she's got to get her due. She's one of the few characters who can stand up to Garfield, and there you go. Her neck still needs a little bit of adjustment on this test shot, but yeah, she's very cool, and she comes with the little the minifigure Squeak the Mouse, which is a fun little bonus. So yeah, Garfield Wave 2 in pre-orders now. I wouldn't delay. I would get in on it, and yeah, we're very excited.
I was going to say, actually, in regards to, showing us those test shots, what sort of like stage, or what are the kind of stages that we can like expect, who aren't like necessarily au fait with the whole production process? What stage are we in at the moment, and what can we expect next with Garfield
Yeah,
Wave 2?
absolutely. So we're in the test shot stage, which means that the tools are cut, and we are sort of refining the function and the fit. And then the next stage after those changes are made would be the deco samples. And then following the deco samples, we would start getting more finished package samples, making sure the package is working okay. John obviously needs a different style package than the smaller blister card we've already got on these guys. So he's going to have a nice window box.
He's ever so slightly bigger, isn't he?
Yeah.
So yeah. Amazing. A couple of questions coming in. Well, Stark Scraps, this isn't a question, but Stark Scraps 2032 says, these Garfield figures are some of my absolutely most wanted figures ever. There you go. So yeah, and if they are most wanted, get in the old description below to that web store, get in the pre-order.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Pre-orders are very, very important for a smaller company like us, for telling us, how we move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And also MTK6017 has asked, with Garfield version 2, will we get the stripes wrapping around the head and back more?
Yeah, we've seen that question a lot. The stripes are a funny thing, because if you look at artwork from the strip or from the animation or whatever of Garfield, the stripes aren't really consistent. They don't really work in 3D. So that may be part of what you're reacting to, is that once you actually start putting in a 3D object, it can't do the things that it does in 2D. But it's also, the license that tells us what the look of that character is. And so, part of that is the licensor saying, this is what this character looks like now.
Yeah.
If we do like a special edition that's really close to the comic art, you might see a little bit of a different fit on those stripes. So stay tuned.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that very detailed answer to that question, by the way, Andrew. Thank you. Lots of people excited for Garfield, of course. Thank you, guys. And Gira RB says Garfield and Hellboy look absolutely fantastic. We'll be talking about Hellboy in a little while as well. But before we do, let's have a quick mosey on over to an internal IP of ours, the Epic Hacks, and specifically the Epic Hacks creatures. Now, this is our 1/12 scale impression kind of situation with Epic Hacks. And with that, we have multiple different kind of lines. We have the Epic Skeletons, which is what we launched with Epic Hacks, which have been doing great. 2 waves of those out, and they seem to be very well, loved by the fans. We've obviously got the fantastic Red Sonja out in that format as well with Epic Hacks. And now we're moving into creatures, and we're starting with Frankenstein's monster, Andrew. Whatever compelled you to do creatures like this is amazing.
Well, so the creatures line was something we broke off as its own segment to be able to do some really oddball stuff that deviated from sort of the normal Epic Hacks body plan that you see on this blank here. And so these first 2, these guys have unique bodies, and they're much taller. Frankenstein is like 7.5 inch, and the robot's 7 point something, I forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Frankenstein here, the basis was to really draw from a whole bunch of influences, but primarily the literary descriptions in Shelley's original novel. So that's why things like the yellow skin, the long black hair, things like that, and he's got a variety of looks you can build him up with. He's got the PVC vest. He's got the beautiful soft goods robe. We just got the samples for the pattern in on that, and it's awesome. Yeah, he's got the bandolier with the period appropriate pistols and the rifle. He's got that gunshot wound in his shoulder, which is a nice little detail we got in
Yeah, I
there.
love that.
Yeah, he's got the little the splits in the skin, which is sort of based off a line Shelley had. So yeah, and you can, the wraps on the feet, you can take those on and off. Yeah, he's very cool. He's got 3 different heads, different expressions.
Yeah, the head sculpts are really fantastic on this one.
Yeah.
Zaymot Rogue has asked quickly, he looks sick AF, thank you. Will we see the creatures migrate to 1/18th? This is actually a good opportunity to talk about this as a general thing here, Andrew, I think.
Yeah.
In terms of how, you know, we kind of balance that sort of thing.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, yes, maybe. It depends on how much interest there is. But you know, the way the market has changed has meant that we're seeing a greater response to different scales and maybe less of a response to some of the others. You know, the decisions we make on you know, how much emphasis to put on this scale versus that scale, that is based on actual market data and what, you know, what is selling. And so, you know, that's a big part of why some of the emphasis might be on 1/12 versus 1/18.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. Did you want to say something, Chris?
I know we
yeah,
I'll just add, because I know we've got a lot of fans who have been with us since the beginning who are 4-inch, and just know that we're always looking for those 4-inch opportunities, and that every line that we look at, you know, we're trying to find the 4-inch entry point. And I think that the best way, you know, we appreciate the comments and we hear you. So just know that, and we talk about it a lot. And the best way for us to keep doing it is those pre-orders, as Andrew said, because we're a year out plus for all development, you know, from when we start and we make our line plans. And on those pre-orders, you know, we'll see the interest. And sometimes, you know, we're kind of creating product just to see, you know, where collectors are, or if there's interest, and we want to continue it. We want to continue every line. That's the whole point. So just know that, you know, we're still grateful for all the 4-inch fans, and we want to kind of bring you the best that we can. I think for us, you know, not to speak for monsters, for creatures, but if there's a huge interest for that and we see it, and, you know, we're hearing from fans, you know, we'll jump on that. For anything 4-inch out there, if we're getting the pre-orders, that lets us plan for the next year and continue it. So just know that we're putting it out there. We're still working on it. It's still a huge part of Boss Fight, and we want to keep developing it. We've got a huge library of 4-inch. So just be sure to let us know, you know, that you're out there as well.
Everybody at Boss Fight loves the 1/18th scale stuff, and we have never stopped producing the 1/18th scale stuff. But, you know, like, there's an ebb and flow to the bandwidth of what the team can develop.
I think that's the perfect point, actually. That is massive. And thank you guys for that little bit of extra information on that as well. So, as well as Frankenstein's monster in this wave 1, we've got something that kind of veers away a little bit from what you'd expect, I think, from a creature perspective. But it's the CGT combat drone agile battle robot, just off the top of my head. When you gave me the copy for that to put in everywhere, I was like, this is a lot of words that I've got to remember.
You know what? Blame Paddy. I didn't have time to come up with a name. He came up with it.
Blaming Paddy for everything. Shout out Paddy Lennon. So we've got the CGT, the combat drone agile battle robot. I'll just say CGT from now on. Take us through this because I think a lot of people have had some really interesting questions about this guy, and how it works maybe with the other epic hacks.
So it is sort of long been an ambition to get some robots into the line, and with Epic, we've had the chance to do that, and So this guy is sort of meant to be like a really, really cool base body to build a lot of different stuff on. He's got a freaking ton of articulation, and that really cool clear armor that I think takes a lot of inspiration from some beloved Japanese robot toys, stuff like that. But yeah, you can build them out in a lot of different ways: jetpack, alternate heads, the rifle, the swords that plug into various places. This guy is fantastic.
I think fun is the
fun is a good word,
because this is one I could see people having lots of different like a different experience with. Like, it's not just like you put it together, you stick it on the display shelf sort of thing, which is, I think, a lot of people, a lot of customers, a lot of kind of fans, their experience with the actual toy itself and the displaying options and what have you. This is one of those ones where there might be that little additional, I'm going to mess around and try this little concoction, I'll try this little, I'll try that different head, and so on and so forth. And you get some really cool like in progress kind of maneuvers going on here when he's putting some of the gear on. I think there's going to be a lot of fun to be had with this one.
Yeah, I think he's going to be.
Can I put an arm on a blank?
Yeah, great question.
Sorry, taking questions from the chat over here.
Yeah. We're still working on those finer engineering points right now, but the hope is that yes, there'll be an interactivity there with the other Epic Hacks bodies.
Cool.
That's quite exciting, having some like a little cyborg arm kind of situation going on. If
it can be done, we're gonna do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you want to answer this question quickly? From Daniel 85i says, is the King Features license done with, or is there a chance for more?
Yeah, we still have a relationship and a license with our wonderful partners at King Features. Great folks. You're probably asking the Flash Gordon, the Phantom, is there more of that? And no. We didn't see the sales response needed to continue those product lines. Popeye is continuing. We are continuing to work on Popeye product, and it's just been a little quiet right now. Again, bandwidth issues.
Exactly.
But there's more Popeye. Yeah.
And the amount of stuff that's coming is kind of ridiculous as well, especially when we're opening Advent doors with teasers for next year already. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, fantastic stuff. Love this CGT the drone, and I'm kind of like, I'm really excited, like I said, to kind of like mess about with this one and like change all the gear and everything. I find that there's going to be a lot of extra extra play in this one, and I'm not going to lie, guys, I still play with my toys. I don't know about you. Right then,
it's brave of you to tell us
on national television, whatever. Let's get into the next. Let's move on quickly so I don't get called out in the chat. We are moving into Immortal Champions and Hellboy. Specifically, Hellboy. This is the newest Immortal Champions figure that we've revealed to date, but we have got some other stuff regarding Immortal Champions to get stuck into as well. But guys, if you want, Andrew, I know is Hellboy is yours on this particular side, but Chris, you're the kind of Immortal Champions guy.
Immortal Champions is Chris's baby, and he's been shepherding that one along. I sort of tagged in on the Hellboy since I'm working on the other Hellboy line, but yeah, now you can get Hellboy in a retro figure format. It's awesome. The gun fits in the holster. He's got the tail and the special lower legs with the hoof feet, and man, he's at the fine cut stage right now. I think they should be starting to cut tooling, but we're real excited for him.
He's fantastic. And the Immortal Champions line, Chris, obviously you've kind of started this. One of the first things one of the main things you did when you got here, we did the fantastic launch with the Wave 1. What can you kind of tell us, or what can you talk to a little bit regarding Immortal Champions before we move on to the extra bit that we've got to show everyone?
Yeah, so there's more coming. It's wave one. We had Conan, Red Sonja, and our skeleton. We've also had, kind of our great exclusive skeleton with Walmart, this glow in the dark Spectral Guardian. So if you haven't seen him out there, check out Walmart.
So
We're on
cool.
there on
Check out
Marketplace, and
Chris's live
he's great.
stream on Walmart as well. That's
Check out my live stream. Yep, it's don't check that out. Just check out the figure. The figure is what people see.
Just look at the
meat
blue
bag
glow.
is-
The blue glow is so
Yes.
cool.
it's gorgeous. Yeah,
It's glow in the dark, but it's pretty much, Immortal Champions is a love letter to 80s entertainment and toys, and there's a lot that fits in that realm for collectors like Hellboy, like Conan, Sonya. We've got more coming. We're working on new waves. We're working on follow-ups to some of these exciting partner brands like Conan. So we're not done. More to come. And I see some chatter like Rathamon. Although is Rathamon, he's from the cartoon, right? So,
Yeah, I don't
Yep.
I don't know if that's included in the.
we'll have to start
Yep,
digging into the
we'll see.
contract there, guys.
more to see, but I do love Rathamon. I've got the Rathamon figure at home. So but yeah, we're looking at a full lineup, and I'd say you can easily say Conan's gonna have someone to beat up soon, which will be exciting.
Awesome. Yeah, because the skeletons can't take all of the hits, can they? I mean, there's only so much damage they can take.
You got to beat. Hey, I play with my toys too. You got to beat someone up,
So anyway, yeah, Hellboy.
and the baddies they're the most fun. They're the most fun to make.
True that. Well, so Hellboy, absolutely fantastic looking figure. Thank you for that, Andrew and Chris. And of course, in relation to Immortal Champions, we very recently, at the start of the month actually, revealed the winners of the fan vote for the Immortal Champions Wave 2. And this one was an interesting one, I thought. I definitely had my favorites of the two sets, basically. But I was it was a very close battle, wasn't it, actually, before obviously these wonderful figures won out.
A nail biter.
Yeah.
We didn't know what it was going to be. There was a huge Roman contingent where it went down to the wire, and it went back and forth. But we have announced Dark Fantasy, and it's we're really excited to show these off. So this is the Necromancer.
So cool.
She comes with a two-sided scythe, and Road Pig John is saying yes. Serpent humanoid character from Conan, Rathamon. We'll check him out, because if you're talking serpent human people, that's my love language.
Yeah, that's a go-to right there for sure.
Yes, love it. So thank you for that. And for Necromancer, so we've got this great two-part scythe, so you can split them. Classic toy feature. It's a clear kind of like hot purple with a green metallic overspray on those edges, so kind of like an acidic dipped scythe edge on those. So it's going to look fantastic when you see it in plastic. She
extremely dangerous,
great...
considering we are using real acid in the production process to do that. Right, guys?
Yes. Apostrophe or
asterisk?
Yeah, sure.
No.
Asterisk. It's yes. Results may vary. And she comes with this jeweled crown and kind of a cool skull brooch on her tattered cape, but she's also going to come with this great skeletal familiar that can have articulated wings, articulated claws on the feet, and hips on the feet, so the bird can stand. The bird will be able to perch and grab onto stuff, or grab onto the Necromancer's foes. So this is like
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Indulgent toy craft in action figures, and that's what Immortal Champions is all about. Like we want to be maximalist with this, and she's just an awesome character. We're having a lot of fun.
She looks fantastic, and I must admit I was drawn to these two, that this set more so, even though like Medusa's a a great figure, a great kind of character to put into toy form, which we have done multiple times. So it makes sense that maybe that isn't necessarily not ever going to be looked at in the future. I'm not sure how to put that without saying it might happen.
I'll say gone but not forgotten,
Okay,
and
I like
there's
it.
a lot of good work that Medusa is dark fantasy as well.
Yeah,
And there might be a future there where we bring back a version of that design and tweak it. But yeah, RP to the Roman wave, but I'll say we might see it come back in an interesting wave, and probably in a better way too.
fantastic. And we also have in this particular set, the winners, the Chthonic Knight. Take us through this absolute beast, please.
Oh yeah, and shout out to our boss fight team who sculpted and rendered these and brought them to life. Fred, Tony, Henry, you guys are absolute all-stars. So this is medieval fantasy, dark fantasy at its core, a death knight with magic edge blades and those crazy horns, so they're coming out to the behind and back forward.
They're representing some packaging difficulties too.
This shows, yeah, they're representing package difficulties. I'm waving them away because the horns need to happen, but those are real problems that I'm making for ourselves actively. But again, maximalist, we're doing some cool form factors, and he's got cloven hoofed armored feet, and there's definitely a connection between the Necromancer and the Chthonic Knight in our lore, so you're going to see some shared colors, and that acid wash green and the magic edged axes will be in a thing. Oh yeah,
yeah. I was about to say that. Yeah, Death Knight versus
scale.
John Arbuckle.
They're in scale. They got to go toe to toe. It's and I'm not sure who's going to win.
I don't know, that cup of coffee.
It's a toss up.
Yeah, but that's absolutely brilliant, fantastic stuff. Yeah, these two, I'm like I said, I'm a bit biased because I really like these two particular figures. Cannot wait to see them in the Immortal Champions wave 2. Yeah, and that's what are we talking in terms of kind of production stage, Chris? Are we like, where are we with this particular situation? When can people expect this, do you think?
Yeah, we're a little bit further than we're letting on. So sculpts are done. The renders are done. We wanted to get back to fan votes. Actually, Chris really did. Chris was on my case. He's like, you got to answer the fans.
Why are we not telling them? Why are we not? I want to talk about this because it's amazing.
Yeah. So Chris he's thinking of you guys and gals. He's always reminding me and Andrew that we need to be social. We're just you don't become a toy designer because you're great at being social. I'll just say that. But Chris is a huge advocate for getting the word out there. But so where they are in production, we're kicking off with the factory. We're starting wave 3, so just know that that we're on it. And wave 1 is pretty much we've got the packaging. We're seeing them in pack. They look fantastic. They're going to look great in your 5.5 collection. We've got some great art on it, and we're looking at continue to make this line better and better for fans. So tell us what you want. Tell us what you want to see for anything. We're listening.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. Well, that is Immortal Champions. Next up, and Chris, we're staying with you a little bit here because this is Conan, and this is the 118th, specifically the Hero Hacks 118th Conan, which we got a fantastic response from. Obviously, we had a fantastic response from the Conan and Belit figures for the Wave 1 Epic, but now we've got Conan in 4-inch kind of size and scale. Yeah, take us through this wonderful figure, please, because he looks great.
Yeah, so this is, this shows you that we're trying to kind of tailor make stuff for for 4-inch scale, and we're going to try some new things, and you'll see some crossover too. But so Conan 4-inch, this is really recreating, that issue #1 Conan. So it's that Howard look. It's a really unique look, and bringing that to life. So I mean, that's exactly the pose. He's got the spear, he's got the sword to the side, he's got that kind of falcon-headed hip dagger. He's got the chain medallions. I can't tell you how much Conan I've read, but I can tell you that it's about like 4 feet of paper stacked of the original Howard books, all the comic runs, and I went through everything and even found out that he's got a medallion on the back of that necklace too that we see very rarely. So we actually have that back medallion because he's got 4 on there in that classic horned forward look. So that helmet is iconic. We've made it so at 4-inch scale, we're going to be able to swap the helmet and the hair, so you can get both expressions with either look. So if you want kind of more like the barbarian Sumerian look, you can have it. If you want that, classic helmeted look, it's there as well. We've got the dimple bracers, obviously the fur loincloth, the fur kini, and the baggy boots, leather boots, as well as the scabbard and the sword. And it's that classic profile of that sword. So again, we're going right to the comics, and we included that storage belt. So it goes across the waist, and you can put both the sword sheath and the knife sheath on the other side. So for 4-inch, this is something that we want to follow up. We're early days on it, but we've got more plans for 4-inch Conan, and we're working on them now. So thank you for the response again, and I think just more to come. So he's looking really good. I'll say that he's pretty much starting tooling now, and we're working on wave 2.
Fantastic. Really excited for this one. It's incredible actually how just how good he looks at that scale as well, because you have the 1/12, and obviously there's a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of kind of like direction headed towards that kind of 6-inch scale at the moment in terms of the fans and the customers and what have you. But when it comes to like getting all of that kind of detail on a 4-inch figure, and I'll say this as a fan of Boss Fight before I started working here, like you guys have such a high level of quality when it comes to the detail, the sculpt, all that kind of stuff, and it's really on show here in a figure like Conan, which, let's face it, he ain't really rocking a lot. He's, you know what I mean, in terms of what he's wearing, he ain't wearing a lot of gear, but what you have done with him is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, and like the even down to like, because the body's this is a unique body, isn't it?
So this is a riff on our orc body, actually.
Right.
So it's a tall 4-inch, which Conan is a tall character.
It's the new orc from Hax Wave 8.
Right.
The tall orc king, I think.
Fantastic. Berzagi.
So new to everybody. Internally, our time is totally twisted. So yes, new to Andrew's point. But it's and you'll see kind of with Conan in general, 4-inch and 6-inch, there's so many different versions of Conan. We realize that. So there's not one look, there's not one portrait. And you can see this is more of the classic Marvel run kind of portrait. With 6-inch, it's more of Buscema style look. And that's, we're looking to kind of deliver those different versions that people are looking for, and there's more to come on that, but I'm really excited to share what the team's been cooking up.
Absolutely. Some of you getting comments in there or questions asking about what we can see specifically. Obviously we can't go into those kind of details, but yeah, in terms of what villains do we have in mind for the Conan line, I guess anything within this format version of Conan.
Soon. I'll just say it's coming soon. It's more to come, but we love the villains. more Conan, more villains,
Fantastic.
more allies.
Dr. Sin 9136 has said 118 Conan looks supremely good. So there you go, guys. Bit of nice comments there. Very hyped for this one. Please more. Any plans to make some nights that are inspired by 2 shows that are coming out next year, which are prequels to a beloved show with a hated ending? I don't think we can really do anything in that sort of regard. But do you guys want to talk to that?
I mean, I just want to say that, like, if we're speaking about the 118th realm, there is some amazing stuff coming up very soon. If you saw our little advent calendar teasers for 2 accessories that Chris put out, you know, it'll give you a little clue. But 118th is going to be, you know, it's going to be all themes mixed around going forward, and you know, we've got a sort of a soft reboot. You know, I think people will be really happy.
Yeah, lots of good stuff coming in 2026, guys. Absolutely. And more kind of like teasers as well you can enjoy on the advent calendar to come as well. Right, that is Conan at 118th. Let's move on to Fraggle Rock. And Andrew, this is back to you, bud. So very recently we dropped the pre-orders for Deluxe Gobo and Moki. Here's Gobo. Yeah, take us through these, please, and thank you.
Yeah, so more stuff with our fantastic partners at Henson. We love working with those guys. Yeah, we decided to do an episode-specific Gobo because it's a great episode, Cavern of Lost Dreams, and it also gave us an opportunity to do some little Doozer figures that were scaled directly to the Fraggles. We had done them at 2 separate scales before. We got some questions about, like, oh, what if the Doozers are at the correct size? So here you go. This is your opportunity. It is awesome. He's got a pickaxe that stores in his backpack.
So
there's a peg on his backpack that Cotterpin can plug onto and stand on his shoulders. And then he comes with, I love these names, Krusty and Yeaster, the sort of the Lost Doozers. And yeah, it's a fantastic little set. Very, very deluxe, very good value. And then we've got the #1 requested figure, which is the classic Moki. It was always in the plans, guys. Have a little faith. And yeah, she's got interchangeable expressions. She's got the soft goods robe. She's got the 2 different necklaces, like the regular puppet necklace and then the animation necklace, which is in there, and then Lanford, which is, you know, this render doesn't really communicate the size. Lanford is an enormous accessory, and the jaw articulates on it.
Fantastic.
It's very cool.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and again, like, it's been so awesome seeing Fraggle come to life. So it's one of those shows that I was like addicted to as a kid, and absolutely love what you guys have been doing with it, specifically Andrew, what you've been doing with the line. It's phenomenal, mate.
And if you're, especially if you're new to the Fraggle Rock line, we've got some great stuff out there. We're not pre-ordering on our site, but our retailer partners are. Which we've got a basic assortment of Fraggles as well that has no accessories, just the figure, fully articulated figure on the blister card. And yeah, they're awesome. So get out there and get those.
Yeah, check them out.
I gotta say, the little Doozers are so good when you hold them. They're so nice, and it's got to be a medical condition where, like, an accessory is so good you want to eat it. I don't know what it's called, but I think I have it when you hold that Doozer. Like, I can't stress when you see, like, the beads and the details coming off these little Doozers. So good.
Yeah, and they've got a little articulated neck. But more than that on that scale was kind of impossible.
Yeah, I was going to say that's pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
Imagine if it had like epic hacks articulation. And you could just imagine a CGT arm plugging into anyway.
Yeah, I saw a question there about Boober's colors, and yes, we did fix 2 things. on this new run with the basics. We fixed the missing paint on Wembley's upper arms, where under his sleeve the factory missed the yellow, and yeah, we corrected Boober's colors to get him a little closer to where we always intended.
Nix has asked, did the Doozers ever finish construction? No, I don't think they. I think they're
No,
still going
just like
regular.
Well, just like toy designers, they're never done. They love their work and they can't stop.
I think the Doozers have been working on 95. Anyway, right, yeah, there you go. There's a Rhode Island, Massachusetts only joke. Right then, that is Fraggle Rock, and of course the most recent pre-orders that we've dropped for Fraggle. Now, we did happen to launch and successfully fund an awesome Swords of Oak Warriors Arena game, which if you've been following, if you've been under a rock for the last however many months, then you may have missed it. But this has been pretty much front and center on our social platforms and everywhere for the longest time. Chris, you must be happy and relieved that it's at least funded at this stage, but that's not the end of the work for us, is it?
No. So yeah, thank you everybody who showed up and backed the Kickstarter or shared the word. Friends, family, everybody came out. So awesome reception. This is something that's, a passion for the team, wanting to try out and some games and grow Swords of Oak Warriors, the IP. And we brought in Stephen Baker, who's a legendary toy designer and legendary game designer, who and all around, fantastic person. So Stephen has been awesome developing this game for us. We've had a great time working with all of our partners and refining it, getting all the art. We're working hard on wrapping everything up. It's a super fun game. We're just at the very end of kind of sending it all out to the factory for the new year, and we're just excited to see you play it. So the minis look great. They're gigantic minis. The play style, it's supposed to be kind of 90s nostalgia, but with today's kind of like fast tactical. So it's very fun. You roll a lot of dice, you make combos, you're moving, you're attacking, defending. There's a lot of good stuff here. So thank you everybody. More to come. I know we've been a little bit silent, but we'll have some more to share. I know Chris has been sharing some of the new art. But as we wrap it up, we're pretty committed to get this thing out to you as soon as possible in the best possible way. But if there's any questions, I know we kind of put a lot of media out there on it.
We've answered a lot of
to answer
questions
that
as well in general with the arena. But yeah, if you do have any, guys, let us know. King of Nods says, I love the board game, but when are we getting an announcement for Swords of Oak Warriors Wave 4? I think we kind of covered that a little bit at the beginning. We'll be looking to move back into sort of like the toy aspect in the new year. So yeah, you can probably expect to see something.
And just as like a rule of thumb, the game, like that's our nights and weekends at this point. We're still hard at work on toys, but
yeah, don't you worry. But this did suck a lot of bandwidth up, though, didn't it? Let's face it.
Yes.
NTK says, congratulations on the board game. Thank you very much, NTK. But yeah, again, if you have any arena questions at any point, just let us know in the comments, and I'm sure we'll get to them as we go along. But yeah, this was crazy. It was an experience that I've been semi involved with a number of different Kickstarters in the past.
You're in it.
Nothing on this to like the scale of this, I would say.
We went whole hog.
Yeah.
We decided to really test ourselves. But it's a great product. It's new for us, and so everybody's willingness to kind of take the journey with us is appreciated as we try some new things.
And the game is a hell a lot of fun, honestly. Like, we've been testing this for so long, like most of this year. So that means going into the conference room, setting it up, getting everyone involved. Even Stephen would turn up as well. Stephen Baker would come in every week, and we'd like, first of all, we'd just all fanboy a little bit that Stephen Baker was right next to us, but then we'd also play the game lots of times. And this is full disclosure, my game tactics the whole time was I just wanted to get Sorazozas and also aim all of my attacks at Stephen. That was basically my entire game plan, and it did not work once. So yeah,
I think you've done okay with your Sorazosa tactic.
I think the first time we played, I hit a Sorazosa with my first roll, and it was well, my first go, not my first roll, but my first go, and that was the best thing ever. And I've been chasing the Sorazosa feeling ever since.
And just one of my favorite Stephen Baker facts is he was a Mighty Max designer. And I bug him for Mighty Max stories all the time, as well as Hero Quest. But,
day long.
Absolute legend.
Yeah, Hero Quest is, again, just like burned into my retinas. That image on that box is just will forever be there. So thank you, Stephen, for that. Yeah, since the game was a success, this is a question related to that particular thing from Zaymot Rogue. Congrats on that. Can it be translated? Is this something that could be translated to other lines?
I think so. I think we're looking at the future of the games right now, and we learned a lot. So we're focused on delivering it. We bit off a lot, and the Hero Quest from the '90s, that is the best. I personally love.
Agreed. The
'90s one, and it's so more to come, but we're going to be figuring that out in the new year. In the meantime, we got to fulfill and get everybody their game. So just know on the game side, that's going to be the focus for the next, few months, start of the new year. But we're at the very tail end of that, and the team is kicking butt on it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Chris. And again, shout out to the whole team involved in Sorazote Warriors Arena to get that to, as a successful funding and, and then some. So thank you so much to everyone involved. The whole team did such a great job. So as Chris mentioned already, yeah, fantastic. Right. Now we have sort of come to, I would say, yeah, the end of this sort of like the product and the toys and everything. We've got a little FAQ to do before we leave. So we'll do that quickly. And here we go. Just gives me enough time to change the next background graphic. Why do we continue to see delays on pre-orders is a question that we get quite often in different forms, not always as nicely. But we do get lots of different people asking us about the kind of delays and the pre-orders. And I thought this would be a good place to really kind of be transparent with everyone, talk about the kind of the challenges that we find we get as a company, some of the reasons why these things get delayed in the first place, and also what we're doing to try and improve that going forward as well. So Andrew, if you wanted to start on this one, bud, I mean, like in terms of like delays on pre-orders, what we're talking about here.
My answer is just to break down crying. So because we're a smaller company, it adds a layer of complication to an already complicated process of manufacturing toys overseas. And we also have extremely high standards, and we don't want to put out something that, isn't up to where we want it. And so, that can cause delays. If we need to take something back and fix something that's not working or not looking right. Very specifically, we had a really, really long delay on the 1/18 Hacks Wave 8, the fantasy wave with the dwarves and the halflings and the Orc King. And that was primarily because we were having a lot of issues with some of the function of the articulation on these brand new bodies, And I think you can probably understand that if you're making the guys much smaller or stuff like that, it represents additional level of complications. And you're also the sad fact is that you're going to be a higher priority at a factory if you have a bigger order. And our production runs are not gigantic. So sometimes that can be part of the delay as well. This year we had a lot of factors that were outside of our control, including tariffs.
Yeah.
A lot of chaos there, and that also meant delays as we were figuring that out and how to work through that system. So yeah, we always want to get stuff out as fast as we can, but it also has to be right.
There's also like that. I mean, you just mentioned it there as well, in kind of more or less. But the fact that we have all these stages as well, it's not just a case of, the inputs go to the sculptor sculpts it, and then it gets sent off to the factory to be made. If it was that simple, I think a lot more companies would exist and be doing it. It's the fact that there are all these different stages that go along, kind of refining certain aspects. You'll get to a point, maybe even after like it's been sculpted, and find issues that need rectifying further along.
And if you're doing a licensed product, that represents a lot, because every one of those stages, concept, design, etc., every one of those stages has to go through licensor approval, and that takes time. That adds complication as well.
There's a few like balances that you have to make as well in a company of our size, I would say. And one of those things obviously is when we show this stuff off for pre-order, for example, like having that happen at a certain stage. There's a reason why that happens at a certain stage. It helps us with that production, and then going forward, we have to try and hit as many exact dates as possible. And it's obviously it can get a little bit difficult doing that. But I mean, Chris, is there anything you want to talk to on this? In probably better knowledge than I have on the subject.
Yeah, so I think it's we understand frustration, and we're equally, if not more, frustrated because we want to deliver. But I do want to share is we're doing a lot for in the last year or so to help mitigate this. So pre-orders going out a little bit later in the development process where we feel more confident, adjusting our timeline, working with our internal team. We've got a lot of learnings that are going to help us in the future and make for much quicker delivery. I think the reality is that on some of these projects, sometimes you get something very strange, like your boat gets diverted, or it can't go through a certain region all of a sudden due to lots of different factors, or the factory has an issue, or what's good about Boss Fight is when we have something and we receive it and it's complete and it's wrong, we are working hard to do what's best for you and to respect the commitment that you made and the money that you pay for something. So we'll have something at final product and it's just not right, and we'll go and fix it for you, but it does take time. So just know that we're advocating for you guys and gals and doing what we can there. And also there's a lot going behind the scenes to get these deadlines shorter and shorter from pre-order to delivery.
Absolutely. Thank you. Well said.
And I saw a great, sort of related question from Compulsive Collector there in the chat about Epic Hacks Core Wave 1. And they're coming. They're on their way. They're still in progress. We had a bit of a funny situation with Epic Hacks where we tried to be a little bit conservative with our tooling, and it kind of bit us in the butt, because a lot of the tooling had to be moved around to different factories, that same basic tooling, to deal with different production runs. And you know, when one of those projects has a delay or goes over the expected schedule, that affects all of them down the line. And you know, hopefully with a little better planning going forward, we can be delivering stuff in a more timely fashion.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys. MTK says, your website now having updates on projects monthly is nice. That transparency is helpful. Glad to hear that. Yeah, because that's definitely something we wanted to improve on, just kind of getting that information out to people on a more kind of regular basis. Yeah. And also, if you're not aware, we do send out a monthly newsletter via email as well. So if you've ordered from us at any point in the past, you will very likely get that email come through. And yeah,
and we do have a very great our customer service guy is fantastic.
Whoever is,
whoever that nameless superhero is.
A-hole. No, he might be at the top
that shares a
left-hand
name
screen.
with me. But again, I just want to say, you know, folks come in and everybody, you know, issues happen. I will say that we get the best praise for Krista's amazing work. Mm-hmm. And if anything ever were to come in that you don't expect from Boss Fight on your product, please don't flood Chris. He's so busy. But yes, let us know. And Chris always is great.
No, if you have any issues, guys, you can always email Boss Fight at many different email addresses. And in fact, you can actually go on our web store and you can contact us through the web store. That's usually the best way to do it. And then I will 100% deal with any issue you may have. Okay, cool. That is that first question of FAQs. The next one is sort of semi-related to a degree. It's still shipping related. Why do other retailers ship new product before Boss Fight Studio? So this is sort of a location scenario for the most part, and also dependent on whether the retailer in question orders direct from our factory, as opposed to coming to us before it gets kind of redirected. So just to kind of like drop my warehouse knowledge right now, guys, while we are here, if certain retailers that are based in certain places are closer to where the product is coming in before it gets to us, they will obviously have the opportunity to get it out to customers before us. And as like I said, as a growing company, there are ways that we can kind of work around that. But for the most part, we sort of have to play it as it is at the moment. And yeah, so some retailers will get the product before us, but that's completely usually because it's getting to them first. And then obviously we have a shipment that comes in, gets delivered to us, and then as soon as it comes in, we start the pre-order process like immediately. And our warehouse team is an exceptional one. Shout out to Andrea, Matt, and now Nate in the warehouse. They do a phenomenal job, and they are continuing to do a phenomenal job as well. So shout out to my warehouse crew. Yeah, that's effectively the reason why. I don't think Andrew or Chris need to get stuck into that one for you guys. That pretty much covers it, would you say, guys?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And finally, the last question has actually sort of been, we kind of discussed it a little bit at the beginning, but we can kind of talk about it again very briefly. And this was something we kind of get a lot from people saying, why don't we make as much 1/18th product as we used to? And again, we've covered this a few times in the stream, so we don't have to go into massive detail here. But guys, if you want to take this one away again, Andrew.
Yeah, just really quickly. You know, we make decisions on product based on the market conditions and what the sales data says. We have to, you know, despite us all being giant toy nerds, we are a business, and you know, so that, you know, if the market conditions are saying to go one way or another, you know, we have to sort of roll with that. Everybody here loves the 1/18th product. We have never once stopped creating the 1/18th hacks, and you know, are looking for opportunities in the future to do more 1/18th product in some slightly different formats. But the most important thing is to show up and to pre-order it, because that tells us what the size of the market for that is, and that tells us if we should be planning for more of that type of product in the future.
Brilliant. And anything to add, Chris, before we complete the show?
No, I think that's it. I think we just got a comment on Conan, so we can I could answer that quick.
Go for it.
So for Jay Corrette, you want to know how tall Conan is on 112?
He's taller than the 6.5 inch sort of baseline blank body.
Yeah, so he's just about, I want to say he's just about 7 inches. He's just shy. So he is massive though. He's posed out. I don't have my ruler here, but yeah, he's just about over 6.5, 6 3/4, I would say. But he will tower over puny 1/12 humans and crush them if needed.
Fantastic. Well, okay. Well, there you go. I think that's a good end point to the show, guys. Thank you very much for jumping on with me and talking in depth about everything in the recent month that we've had, a very busy month that we've had already. We're going to be doing these going forward more regularly, so we'll probably time them with like product drops and product reveals and what have you, so that we can kind of talk a little bit more detail about that. We'll probably get other people on the show, other Boss Fight crew, the Boss Fight team, as well, to talk about stuff, because obviously everyone works on this stuff and do an amazing job. So we want to get everyone involved.
Everybody wants to see Eric paint some more stuff. That's always really cool.
Always. So we'll get Eric to do that on stream. He'd love that. No pressure. Guys, thank you so much for joining me, guys. It's been fantastic. Andrew, have a good one, my man. Chris as well. Thank you, pal.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Happy holidays and all that
everyone.
Good stuff.
Take care.
We'll see you on the next one. And like I said, all our boss fighters, have a wonderful holidays. We'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your Friday and enjoy the weekend. Goodbye. Wave, guys. Come on. Wave to everybody.